I never imagined I'd return to my childhood home in Phoenix just to be told I didn't exist. The desert wind howled, sweeping dust across the front steps where I once carved pumpkins and strung up Christmas lights with Dad. This was the same adobe porch where I'd learned to skate and posed for my first day of middle school, with Mom beaming behind the camera. But now? My father stood in the doorway, his face devoid of warmth. "Lena," he said, tone stiff, eyes cold. "We don't have a daughter. Leave or I'm calling the police." Behind him, my younger sister Callie lounged against the frame, arms crossed, smug grin painted on. The spare keys to my old studio room jingled from her pocket. She'd always resented my ambition, my education, my success, my bond with our parents. At 35, I was living in downtown Chicago, leading strategic acquisitions for a Fortune 100 company, and making more in a quarter than most saw in a year. Every month, I wired money, $3,500, 0 cents to cover their mortgage, $2,000, 0 cents for bills and groceries, $1,000, 0 cents toward Callie's student loans and car. I'd even paid $50,000, 0 cents for Mom's eye surgery last spring, when their coverage fell short. "Dad," I said quietly, "we just talked last week. Mom said she was making her green chili stuffing." He didn't blink. "You're mistaken. We only have one child. Callie, please leave." Then the door shut. Through the stained glass, I watched them walk away, back to the dinner I'd helped pay for, back to a table I wasn't welcome at. The banking app on my phone glowed. My thumb hovered over cancel transfers. Miss Walker. It was Mrs. Garcia, our neighbor of 2 decades. Her brows were knit with worry. "Everything okay?" I smiled faintly. "Everything's fine. Just a misunderstanding," I murmured. "Misunderstanding?" Mrs. Garcia frowned. "But I saw your folks packing the SUV this morning. Suitcases, cooler, the works." "Your mom said they were headed to Callie's new cabin for Thanksgiving. Said it would be the 3 of them. A proper family holiday." It hit me all at once. Callie's cabin? The one she claimed she'd bought from her savings working admin at that solar panel office. The same sister who begged me in September for help covering her rent and dental bills. I unlocked my phone and pulled up the bank app. My parents' joint account, the one I'd added myself to last year to better manage their bills, showed a series of large withdrawals, all timed perfectly with the date that cabin was purchased. They used my money, funds meant for their mortgage, medical bills, and groceries, to buy Callie a vacation home. And now they were pretending I didn't exist. I pressed down on the cancel button. "All future transfers gone." "Thank you, Mrs. Garcia," I said softly. "You've helped more than you know." Back in the car, the organic turkey sat cooling in its fancy foil, untouched. My phone buzzed. A message from Callie. "Too late to cancel anything. They already pulled next month's cash. Enjoy your sad little dinner. Oh wait, you're not part of the family anymore." I didn't reply. Instead of going home, I drove to my firm's regional headquarters in downtown Chicago. Quiet, almost empty. I logged in and opened the financial records, my parents' accounts, every one I'd ever helped manage. I reviewed, line by line. What I found chilled me. Jewelry stores, car dealerships, pricey bistros, but worse, offshore transfers, shell payments, cloaked accounts. This wasn't reckless spending. It was criminal. And as a licensed fiduciary, I was legally obligated to report it, even if it meant turning in my own family. Especially then. I reached for the office landline, fingers steady. I dialed a number I'd bookmarked long ago, hoping I'd never need it. "This is Lena Walker, Senior Acquisitions Manager at Kessler and Hayworth Capital. I need to report suspected financial fraud and possible money laundering." My tone was calm. Too calm. "Yes," I confirmed. "I have full documentation, bank records, timelines, and account access." The agent on the other end responded with clipped professionalism, walking me through the process. I answered every question, including the one I dreaded most. "The subjects," I said softly. "They're my immediate family." As I hung up, my phone buzzed again. A notification from a group chat I didn't recognize. Photos flooded the screen. Callie holding a glass of wine. My parents smiling at the head of the table. The same table I wasn't welcome at. In the background, Mom's green chili stuffing. My recipe. Caption: perfect family dinner, just us, no leeches allowed. I leaned back, gazing over Chicago's skyline as the city lit up below. They thought I'd stay silent, that I'd stay broken. They were wrong. Opened my laptop and sent 3 emails. One to my attorney, one to a forensic analyst, and one to a real estate agent. I was selling the penthouse. I didn't need luxury anymore, not when there was no one left to support but myself. Then another text came in, from an unknown number. Lena, this is Mrs. Garcia. My porch cam caught your parents and Callie after you left. They were laughing, bragging. I recorded everything. My lips curved into a smile for the first time that day. Thank you, Mrs. Garcia, I typed back. I'm going to need it all. Tomorrow, I'd begin reminding them who I was. Their daughter, their sister. And soon, their reckoning. If you've been holding your breath with me this far, you'll want to see what happens next. Because tomorrow, I don't just fight back. I change everything. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss how I turned their betrayal into a reckoning they never saw coming. Did you see her face? Callie had laughed, twirling the keys to my old studio room like a trophy. Little Miss Finance finally got knocked down. She'll be crawling back. She always does, Mom chimed in, voice sharp. Throwing money at us like that makes her feel important. But we got what we wanted. The cabin's ours now, Dad added, his tone smug. And thanks to my son's brilliant offshore idea, she'll never trace where the rest of it went. I paused the recording and looked at James Morrison, my forensic accountant, across his desk in the loop. His face was grim. They gave us everything, he said. Intent, offshore accounts, coordinated fraud. This isn't just betrayal anymore, Lena. This is criminal. I slid over a binder. Here's everything I've compiled: withdrawals, transfers, real estate records. I need to know how far this goes. He spent the afternoon reviewing, his frown deepening with every flagged transaction. Finally, he set the papers down. Your sister isn't just blowing your money. These patterns suggest she's funneling funds through the solar company, laundering. And your parents' accounts are the wash. Your deposits? They're being used to legitimize illegal inflows. My stomach clenched. How much are we talking? He circled several totals in red ink. North of $2,500,000 0 cents just this year. The cabin was a decoy? Every guilt trip, Callie's fake tears, Mom's medical sob stories, was bait. What do we do next? I asked. The feds are looped in, James said. But if you want airtight evidence, we move now, before they wipe it all. I showed him Marcus's latest text. Thanks for cutting us off. Mom's crying about her meds. Hope you're happy being cold-blooded. They still think I'm in the dark, I muttered. That's your edge, James said quietly. But Lena, get ready. When this blows up, it's going to get ugly. Family fraud cases usually do, James muttered. I thought of my father's flat denial, my mother's calculated cruelty, and Callie's gloating smirk like she'd finally won some lifelong competition. It's already ugly, I replied quietly. Let's just make it honest. The next morning, I met with my attorney, Sarah Chenma, in her high-rise office off Michigan Avenue. Her reputation for dismantling complex white-collar crime cases preceded her, and she didn't disappoint. The good news, she said, flipping through the documents, is that you've documented everything. Clean, time-stamped, undeniable. She paused. The challenge, your name's on a few of these joint accounts. We'll need to draw a very clear line. I pulled up my archived emails and texts. Every time they asked for money, they gave me specific stories. Bills, medical expenses, insurance gaps. I can prove they lied about the purpose of every transfer. She nodded. That helps. We'll also need character witnesses, people who can attest to your ethics. Mrs. Garcia already agreed to testify about Thanksgiving, I said. and my colleagues at Kessler and Hayworth will confirm my role and professional conduct. Sarah made a note. Now, about Callie's business partner. Our audit suggests the solar company is a shell. I paused. There's a name I heard often, Vincent Rossi. Callie called him a silent investor. Sarah's eyes narrowed. Vincent Rossi, her voice dropped. Lena, that's organized crime. If your family's working with him, this is bigger than fraud. The room felt colder. What do we do? I asked. We take this to the FBI. Today. By evening, I was in a federal office building sitting across from two agents. We went through everything. Recordings, transfers, property records. This is bigger than you think, Agent Torres said. But you did the right thing. Now, don't contact your family. No calls, no responses. Let us take it from here. That night, in my quiet apartment in River North, a new message buzzed on my phone. A photo of my parents and Callie at an upscale restaurant. Caption: Dinner at Vincenzo's. Only real family deserves the best. Owned by Vincent Rossi. I stared at the screen, jaw tight. I forwarded the restaurant photo to Agent Torres, then blocked the number they'd used to send it. Let them believe I was sulking, too heartbroken to fight back. Let them revel in their false security and stolen luxuries. The investigation was gaining momentum. Their world would collapse soon enough. My phone rang again. Mrs. Garcia? Lena, honey, your sister just stopped by, angry, demanding your new address, said you needed to be taught a lesson in loyalty. I thanked her and immediately called Agent Torres. Within the hour, I had federal protection. We've seen this before, he told me. When fraudsters sense the end, they lash out at the ones exposing them. That night, lying in bed, I opened my photo gallery. Birthday cakes, Christmas trees, family barbecues. Images from a life that now felt staged. I stared at them one last time, then deleted everything. The past was over, the future demanded my full focus. A message from James lit up my phone. Found something big in the offshore transfers. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Might be our smoking gun. I set my alarm, heart steady, one step closer. The next morning, James's office was eerily quiet. He gestured me inside, his monitors glowing with transaction flows and layered charts. You might want to sit, he said. Remember those offshore accounts? They weren't just shielding your money. Callie's company was at the center of a vehicle export scam. The screen revealed the web, laundered funds buying luxury vehicles, exported at fake premiums, insurance fraud tied in. My parents' accounts, clean the payouts. Estimate? $15 million. 2 years. Then he hesitated. There's more, Lena. Something personal. He opened a file. A trust agreement, one I'd never seen before. Your grandmother's inheritance, James said gently. The one your parents claimed went to Callie because of her dying wishes? It was meant for you, all of it. My hands trembled. But they showed me her will. They said she thought Callie needed it more. James shook his head. They forged the documents. We recovered the original and encrypted backups from your father's cloud storage. Lena. She named you as sole heir. There's even a letter she wrote explaining why. My chest tightened. Grandma Helen had passed 3 years ago. I'd trusted my parents. Then my phone buzzed. It was Agent Torres. Mrs. Walker, we're moving in today. The evidence is overwhelming. We believe your family's preparing to flee the country. Stay clear of all connected locations. As if on cue, a message flashed on my work phone. Security desk. Mrs. Walker, your sister Callie is in the lobby. She's demanding to see you. Absolutely not, I said. If she returns, contact this number immediately. I forwarded Agent Torres' line. The next few hours passed in James's office, watching updates roll in. The FBI raided multiple sites, the dealership, the lake house, their home, and 3 other properties I never even knew existed. At 2:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. Breaking. FBI raids. Luxury car dealership. Key figures arrested. In $15.00 M fraud ring. Moments later, the messages poured in. Mom, how could you do this to us? Dad, you've betrayed your blood. Callie, you'll regret this, Lena. Watch your back. I forwarded each one to Agent Torres. Then came a message from Mrs. Garcia, a video attachment. Thought you should see this, she wrote. They broke into your old room before the FBI got there, looking for something under the floorboards. I pressed play. There they were, Mom, Dad, and Callie, desperate, pulling up planks, scrambling for something. I smiled faintly. They didn't know I'd moved the documents years ago to the closet compartment only I knew existed. And during my last visit, I had left a recorder there, just in case. Check my old closet, I texted Agent Torres. Hidden candle, back right corner, might be something useful. An hour later, she called. We found it, recordings. They talk about everything, the fraud, the forged will, even a plan to frame you if things went south. I stood at my Brooklyn office window, the city glowing behind the glass. In the reflection, I didn't see the woman who used to send monthly support without question. That version of me no longer existed. The front desk called. Miss Walker, a Mrs. Patricia Walker is here. She's in tears asking to see her daughter. I didn't hesitate. Tell her I don't have a mother and please show her out. That night, Sarah called. The FBI froze everything. The lake house and other properties are seized. Marcus is facing serious charges and your parents could be indicted too. They're offering to flip on Vincent Rossi for leniency. I laughed bitterly. Let me guess. They think I'll defend them. Funny thing, Sarah replied. Having no daughter doesn't help their case now. Alone in my apartment, I opened Grandma Helen's hidden letter. I chose you, Lena, because you have what your brother never will. Integrity. My phone buzzed again. Agent Torres. Rossi, turn on your brother. It's over. I smiled. No, it's just beginning. And this time, I was the one writing the story. 6 months after that Thanksgiving, I sat in a federal courthouse in Manhattan, watching my family enter their guilty pleas. Marcus, shackled and in an orange jumpsuit, refused to look at me. Mom clutched a tissue, still acting the role of the broken-hearted mother. Dad stared ahead, emotionless. The list of charges: money laundering, insurance fraud, forgery, conspiracy. The judge's voice echoed. Given the scale of fraud and their lack of remorse, I'm imposing the maximum sentences permitted. Marcus Walker, 15 years. Robert and Patricia Walker, 8 years each. No tears, no joy, just closure. Outside, reporters swarmed. Ms. Walker, how does it feel to send your family to prison? I met the cameras without flinching. They made that choice when they said I wasn't their daughter. I only made it official. That night, Mrs. Garcia and I shared a quiet dinner in my Brooklyn apartment. The house sold, she said. Nice family. They're turning your old room into a nursery. I smiled. The house needs honest memories now. Earlier that day, I'd received my promotion. Executive Director, London office. Later, I left white roses at Grandma Helen's grave. You were right, I whispered. They never saw me coming. They resented me for becoming exactly what they raised me to be: strong, successful, independent. Their perfect plan had backfired. The morning I packed for London, a final letter came. My mother's handwriting. Lena, we're sorry. We know it's too late. Love, Mom. I shredded it, unread. Some bridges should stay burnt. From my new flat overlooking the Thames, I watched the sun rise. James called. Your inheritance is restored, with interest. Also, Marcus planned to frame you, using your credentials. Then I stopped them just in time, I replied. Sometimes, no family is better than the wrong one. And I was finally free. If you've ever been betrayed by the people you trusted most, you know how hard it is to rise. I did, and I'm still standing. Drop a comment below. What would you have done in my place? What would you say to someone like me? And if I've learned anything, it's this. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness, it's power. Choose truth, choose peace, and always choose yourself. Don't forget to subscribe for more.